Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here with a not too shabby Digi Challenge card for August. I'm going to use this watermelon popsicle digital from Not Too Shabby and these stencils. So I'm kind of just jumping right in here. This is the coloring. I wanted to show you with my alcohol markers exactly how much kind of a rough job I did coloring. And I did that intentionally so that I could get more texture to my watermelon. You know, watermelon to me always seems to have, of course, so much texture, but like a deep red and pink and all these different variations in between. So I wanted to capture that in my coloring. I didn't want to do like a perfect blend. Not that I think that would be a bad thing. It's just this is the look I was going for. So I'm only going to color one for you on screen. And then I had already colored the rind. So I will jump over in just a second and color that for you. When I color in the seeds, instead of having to go back in with my gel pen and add a highlight, I just leave a little bit of it uncolored. And then the white of the paper just shows through as your highlight. Okay, and then as far as highlighting, there's these really great lines that are drawn into the stamp, and I decided to go over all of those with my white gel pen. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just following the lines of the stamp. And then I just dot in a little more texture for you. And it's just that simple. Okay, and then here I'm going to jump over and do the rind for you. So I started with a very pale pink, and then I'm going to use my blender and kind of blend that out for the white part of the rind. And I just wanted to transition a bit in that area, and then I'm doing a lighter green. And then just the very outside of the rind is showing it down on this little sliver. So that's how I did mine. Thank you so much, Carrie Rhodes, for coming up with this challenge. For tiny channels like mine, where I just want to take part and be a part of the community, and you know, my channel is just so small. I'm not a part of a design team yet or anything. This just means so much, and it's so much fun. And then, yes, this marker, every time I went to take the lid off, the whole tip came off the barrel. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank you because it means a lot, and I'm so happy to be able to jump in and join you ladies. It's just so much fun. So thank you, and thank you, Jamie, for promoting small channels. I think there's so much creativity, and it's so nice to see the diversity that you bring. I had so much fun following the hop recently for your new release, and I just wanted to say thanks, ladies. It really means a lot from one crafter to another. So here I'm drawing in teeny tiny little fire ants, and because I didn't have any ant stamps. And then I'm going to cut out, I'm making a slimline card, so I'm using a grass border that I already had in my collection from Lawn Fawn, and I'm just extending it to make a grassy border long enough. Then what I'm going to do, because I only wanted to fussy cut so many of my little ants, but they never come 5 at a time, right? So I'm going to draw in a whole bunch of little ants along the grass. So that's what I will do here. And then I'm going to bring in this Concord and Ninth plate and cup stamp set. I really love this one, and I use it quite often, actually. I really just love this one. So I'm going to create my own little like paper plate, and I'm only going to do a little bit of stamping here, but I wanted to show you with these kinds of stamps, because it's hollow in the center, and so you really want to lay it on your glass mat or your table and pick it up with the block. Okay, so I'm just creating my own little pattern here, and I'm going to use my finger tool real quick. There we go. And complete that pattern. And I love that it's so wonky. And then now I'm bringing in a stencil. I'm going to use my number 2 pencil from Lawn Fawn dye ink, and I'm going to color this gel matte medium. And that way I catch some dimension. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a blanket, like a picnic blanket. My favorite color is yellow, so I'm having a yellow picnic blanket. And I wanted just to be some texture, although you don't really see much of it in the finished product, I don't think, the final card design. I'm really happy I did this. And the challenge was to incorporate stencils, so I wanted to show you a fun technique with those. Now, my watermelon has been enjoyed like thoroughly, so I'm actually cutting those out. Now, you could have cut these before you colored all of them, but it's okay. So now on to ink blending my background, which I wanted a sunset, like the sun is setting on summer. We're about to go into fall. And that's kind of my inspiration today with the watermelon and the ants, is like they're carrying summer off. Like, come back here. That's how I feel. I'm not ready to homeschool 2 kids and work a full-time job. Come back. Ready or not, school is starting in 2 days. So, anyways, I thought this design just turned out so cute. So for me, the ants first went after the light stuff. They went after the small stuff, and then they're like, nah, we're gonna get those 2 big slices. So one thing I'll mention real quick is I'm just kind of fiddling here with placement and how I want things, is that well, right there I'm showing you that I did a really quick mock-up on the back of my paper to see if I was gonna like this purple for the clouds, because I didn't want to just go straight to my paper and then have to redo the whole thing. So use the back side and test if you can. So anyways, the other thing that I was gonna mention here is that, you know, our inspiration can come from so many places, and I know that plate is out of perspective. Like, it should be laying flat in theory, and it's kind of like up, but these are cards. Like, we just get to have fun, right? And so it doesn't have to be perfect. As an artist, perspective is a thing, and I've had to get over it as a card maker. Anyways, so you see that little squishy there? That little unicorn that's sitting on my card? Yeah, my daughter gave me that yesterday, and it's so much fun to play with, so it's joining me. I'm showing you here that I really liked going back in with that number 2 pencil color and ink blending through the embossing there that I had done with the stencil, and doing a tone on tone. It just, for me, fit better with a card. So now my blanket's done, and I did have to cut it and flip it, and that, yeah, it's going to be just fine. My watermelon's going to cover the seam where I had cut it. Okay, so the plate was bugging me a little bit, so I decided to ink the edge. And then before it's all said and done, I'm actually going to go in here and I'm going to color it with a light pink color as well. Originally, I had put those pink splotches on there because, like, you know, you eat watermelon and you get all the watermelon juice all over your plate, so I couldn't have just a pristine white plate. But none of that's going to matter in a minute. So now I'm just gluing these things down. Again, this is my picnic blanket, and I did have to put some grass there on the horizon just to kind of break things up. And now I get to dump these things out. So yeah, I use a mushroom box In fact, I have a ton of them in my craft room to hold little pieces while I'm working on projects. I just love it. And then like if I have to leave a project and come back to it, all my little pieces are all in one place. They are so handy, and they don't go in, recycling or the landfill. So that's good. Yeah, so here is where I'm going in. I'm deciding this whole plate's just going to have to be pink. It felt like just a big block of white against all that rich color. And now I'm going in with this alcohol marker because I'm wanting to kind of add dimension to the plate. And so that's why I did this. I can't wait to see all the submissions that people are going to do for this challenge. I'm sure there's going to be super cute stuff. So I'm not going to bore you with me trying to adhere all this stuff down. I'm just going to get it down and then kind of show you where I go from there. So I did tuck the plate behind the grass to ground it. And then I used my Darcy thin strips. I love these foam strips. And I used those. So this piece of grass and the watermelons are the only parts of my card that have dimension that are popped up. Cutting off the excess there. And these are just like little watermelon seeds that I had drawn on paper with that same colored marker. And I wanted some watermelon seeds on my plate. Okay, I finally got everything stuck down. And now I'm going to adhere everything down. I did recently get a Trinity stamp set that die set for slimline cards that I love, but I actually make my slimline cards a little bit bigger than it, so they fit nicely in the envelopes that I have. Anyway, so I wasn't really able to use that, so I just used a matting layer back there before my card base. And here's the final product, and I just love it. I have some little ants in the background. They're bringing in the back, helping carry that heavy load. Thanks for watching, and my little squishy says, please subscribe. All right, have a great day.